The Lord then said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made." And Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters came on the earth. And Noah and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. Pairs of clean and unclean animals, of birds, and of all creatures that move along the ground, male and female, came to Noah and entered the ark, as God had commanded Noah. And after the 7 days of the flood waters came on earth, in the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that day of all springs, on the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened, and rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. What have I told you? Faith isn't proven in miracles. It's proven in the waiting. I know that might be hard to hear, especially in today's world with Amazon and next day shipping. However, Noah didn't just walk into the ark one day. He spent years in active obedience, building, trusting, and following God even when it didn't make sense. He believed not just in God, but in what God said. And then something interesting happens. The animals begin to come to the ark. God designed creation with a migratory instinct, meaning even the animals responded to his timing. Many people today can see the animals migrate. Examples of this can include birds, wildebeest, caribou, and crabs. But here's what really stands out. After everything was ready, Noah and his family had to wait 7 more days before anything happened. Imagine that. You've obeyed God, done everything right, and still nothing. That's where faith gets real. I've had moments like that in my own life. When I first moved, I had a job where I would go door to door selling roofs, but never get any money. I then struggled to find a decent job, looking for months. The only opportunity I had working was at a prison. I was nervous, honestly scared about my future. I believed God had a purpose, but I didn't always feel sure about that. There were moments I even doubted. But then one day, I went for a run, and I ran into the fire department. That moment turned into an opportunity to volunteer, and eventually a job. And what changed in me wasn't just my situation, it was my faith. I started running to God more, reading more, and thanking Him even during interviews and training. Because I realized something. If God takes care of the birds, if He provides for the grass, why wouldn't He take care of you and me? So if you're in waiting season right now, don't give up. Because the same God who told Noah to build is the same God who brings the rain. On that very day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, together with his wife and the wives of his 3 sons, entered the ark. They had with them every wild animal according to its kind, all livestock according to its kind, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings. Pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going to were male and female of every living thing, as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut them in. For 40 days the flood kept coming to the earth, and as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. Every living thing that moved on land perished. Birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had breath of its life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals, and the creatures that move along the ground, and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him on the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. What have I told you? Some doors don't stay open forever. When Noah entered the ark, it says they went in as God commanded. Everything was already set in place. God knew the exact moment the flood would come, down to the second. And here's something powerful. God kept the door open until the very last moment. But once it's closed, that was it. No second chances. And that's just not Noah's story. That's our life. One day, every single one of us will take our very last breath. And even now, God is opening the door to our hearts. The question is, will we walk through it or turn the other way? I've had moments like this in my own life. I almost went to the Stanford Fire Department, but I already had invested my time with Chatham County. I had just finished boot camp, found a church I loved, and started building real connections. Looking back now, I can see God's hand in that decision. Staying allowed me to grow, to mature on my own, and it ultimately led me to meeting my wife. God knew exactly what He was doing, even when I didn't fully see it. And that's why this matters so much. Because without prayer, without seeking God, without His Word, we're basically walking blindfolded through life. So if you're facing a decision right now, pray, slow down, seek God, meditate on it. Because God is patient. He gives us time. But once the door closes, it's closed. I really hope and I pray that this video has helped you. I know that this chapter has really encouraged me in my faith, and if it has helped you, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, as well as give me a comment, allow me to understand how I can pray for you throughout the season, and I'm just very grateful for you watching this video. That being said, Fisher out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.